Hey guys, so I was hanging around in Stoops' stream yesterday, and he was talking a little bit about the current pace of progression in our Western version of the game. The current pace of honing, the current pace of upgrading your gear, and how hard it is to get to 1600 for normal Voltus, 1610 for Gargoldes, 1620 for hard Voltus. He was talking about how it was just, at the moment way too expensive to hone up your characters to the current content. And I would say I agree. Now, 1600 I think is doable for most people who are playing probably every day with 6 characters, or maybe even less than that, because I think, to be honest, for the most part having less characters is better for their progression. Unless you're like keeping your characters, your alts at like 1540 or something, right? I think that it's pretty reasonable for players who are playing every day and playing a good amount of hours to get to 1600. Now, 1610 is a little bit harder, but still doable if you get lucky. 1620, in my opinion, you really need to get super, super lucky, or play the market very well, or just swipe. Now, that leads us to the honing buff discussion, right? Do I think that we need a honing buff? I think yes. I love a honing buff. I'm not 1620 yet. I'm not even 1610 yet on my main. And I would love to get there, but it's just too expensive at the moment. So if we got a honing buff, that would be absolutely amazing. Now, do I think that we will get a honing buff, though, is the real question. And I would say that we are probably not going to be getting a honing buff anytime soon. And here's why I think of this. So in the past, right, why have we gotten honing buffs? Why has Korea gotten honing buffs? Well, it's because a new raid came out and the item level required for the new raid is just going higher and higher and higher. So they want to catch people up who are just starting or maybe coming back or something like that. Catch them up to the current content. Now, what is the item level for current content in Korea? Well, Theamine Hard is 1630, which is higher than what we're at right now, and Theamine Normal is 1610. But for our current content and the previous content for Korea, it was hard Voldus, right? Hard Ivory Tower, normal Ivory Tower. And that, the item level is 1600 for normal mode and 1620 for hard mode. If you think about it, in terms of item level discrepancy, that has been the smallest discrepancy we've ever had in the game. In the past, it was like, okay, so Brel hard mode was 1560, a Khan hard mode was 1600. That is a 40 item level difference. Right now, for our hard mode differences, it's only 10 item level. So I really don't see Korea giving a honing buff anytime soon. If you think about it, even the next content, right, for Echidna, the highest item level you need is still 1630. 1630 for hard mode, 1620 for normal mode. So Korea has, well, not just Korea, but Lost Ark in general is shifting away from a progression system where honing is the key to upgrading your character. And they're adding things like elixirs, they're adding things like transcendence, and they're adding things like that new system from Echidna, the new honing system that's not going to affect your item level, right? Honing your item level is not the way that we're going forward anymore. And because of that, I don't think that they're going to be giving us a honing buff anytime soon to catch people up, because in Korea, it's not that big of a difference between the content from before to the current content and the future content. And that leaves us in a little bit of a predicament in the West, because our content is a lot more accelerated than Korea's. So while people in Korea had a good bit of time to get to Voldus, 1600, 1620, we don't really have that luxury as much, because Theamine is coming out relatively soon. It's in April. So we need to push our characters. And with that, it doesn't make sense for Korea or Smilegate to give us a honing buff in the West, but not give Korea a honing buff, right? But as I mentioned earlier, I don't think the Korean Smilegate, the company, I don't think they feel like they need to give a honing buff, because there's not much of an item level discrepancy between the content. So where does that leave us? Well, it means we're screwed, right? Well, not exactly. What I think that they should be doing is what they've done in the past, actually. AGS has done this in the past. I remember playing way back in the day with Argos, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, Argos is just like an impossible number to reach for day one. We can't do Argos. We can't get the 1375. We can't do this in the amount of time that they've given us." So what did they do? What did AGS do? Well, they started injecting us with more materials. They didn't give us a honing nerf or a honing buff per se, but they started giving us more and more materials by, one, mainly adding the event shop. And the event shop back then was absolute juice. Like, I would look forward to that event shop every week because it would give me a bunch of materials and, of course, cards and things like that, like a current event shop gives. But at the moment, I'm not excited about the refresh of event shop every week because it just doesn't give us enough materials. I was doing the math yesterday. It gives us 8 radiant leaps per week. That's not even enough for one hone. That's like half a hone, if half. And then with like obliteration stones, it gives us like 400, I think, 500. And again, that's like a third of a hone. So at the moment, the event shop is pretty much, it's not worthless per se because it gives us stuff, but like, it's not exciting. Like, why do we care about it? It doesn't really give us much. It doesn't even give us one home. So I think there really is an opportunity for AGS to, one, buff the event shop, give us a little bit more juice from that, but two, also find other ways to inject us with materials. That way, Korea is not unhappy that we're getting a honing buff and they're not. And then also, we're happy because we get more materials that make it easier for us to hone. It can be in the form of event shop. It can be in the form of something like a frog, for example, the golden frog, just to give us like some more cheaper, easier to get mats than the current mat economy. I think that that's the way that AGS should be approaching this and helping us out in getting to the latest content, because I do think it is very hard to get to the latest content at the moment and a little bit unreasonable for most players. So yeah, there's my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think that that's a good idea to just inject us with more mats? Do you still think that, let's say, we don't give Korea a honing buff, but we get a honing buff? Do you think that's the way that we should go? Because again, I don't think that Korea is going to get a honing buff anytime soon. Or is there other solutions that you can think about? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, hit the like if you enjoyed the video. Hit the sub button and ring the bell for notifications. And also, I stream every night starting at 10 p.m. PST on twitch.tv/misoxshiro and multi-stream on YouTube as well. Additionally, today is gonna be the day for, well, if you're watching this video today, which is Friday, January 5th, we are having a giveaway, a big giveaway tonight on my stream at twitch.tv/misoxshiro. We are giving away 2 $100 Steam gift certificate or gift cards. So hit that follow button on my Twitch to be eligible to win, and come join me on my stream tonight. All right, guys. If I don't see y'all there, hopefully I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.